Gosh, I forgot how much I love that build. Hey yo, it's Lano and welcome back to another episode of Solely Survival. So in last episode, I built this thing and honestly, I just logged in for the first time in the last couple of weeks and this is the first thing I seen and I forgot how much I enjoyed this build. This was such a cool build and I cannot get over it. Still not used to the lack of overhangs, but honestly, I'm still happy with this. Now, I do want to admit something. So after I finished recording last episode, I had this issue where the villager that I put in here kept trying to escape. No matter what I did, I went all the way back to the village, all the way over there, and I broke all of the beds, broke all of the workstations, broke all of the everything. Absolutely everything. And he would not latch to this bed whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm just gonna admit it, this is a different villager than before. And he's a little bit more expensive than the villager we had last time, but it is what it is. I have yet to do any actual trading with him for any more books or anything. I don't think I really did anything. Oh, see, there's one of his heads right now. But, yeah, I don't really think that I did much with him. I didn't add any mending to anything just yet. So I probably will take some time out of today to do that. But other than that, I do have some other plans for this area. I really want to fill this out with more practical buildings, more buildings that I maybe not use like every time I'm over here or something, but convenience things that you would expect to see in a little village, like a smithy or things like that, which honestly, a smithy is exactly what I'm thinking for today. And I'm not sure exactly where I want to put it just yet. There's a part of me that's thinking of slapping it right here, or right back here, or maybe right in here, maybe. But I don't entirely know just yet. I'm wanting to kind of plan this out just a little bit more because of the sight lines and everything. Because from all the way back here, I want to kind of have a good view of that build, but I don't want it to be... I mean, I don't know how to explain this. I want the build to be right here, but I don't want this entire build to be obscured, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And, well, you guys know me. I typically don't build small. I mean, look at that tower right behind me. So I've got to figure that out. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do or where I'm going to do it. I'm definitely leaning towards a smithy, and I'm definitely leaning towards putting it right over here, and maybe even not facing that direction. To kind of slim it up a little bit, I might make it face this direction. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to think on it for a little bit, and I'll get back to you. And while I'm taking the time to think about that, I just want to show you guys very quickly that I just recently launched merch. By the time you're seeing this, the Crafting Hope merch that is showing up on screen now will not be available. That was only a limited time thing. And the rest of the merch here that you see with my logo on it is pretty much the merch that I have at the moment. More merch will be coming soon, but there's everything from shirts to hoodies to mugs to stickers and phone cases. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do so by clicking the link in the description and purchasing something here if you like. I don't expect you to, but any support is appreciated. So after spending the last 24 hours thinking about this, I think I finally got a pretty good solution to my problem. What I'm thinking is I'm going to build right here. And I want to kind of use the terrain here. I feel like having something just a little higher up is probably a good idea. I mean, everything else around here is pretty well around the same level, except for back over there. But over here in this area, what I've got so far is relatively around the same level. I mean, give or take a few blocks here, but I feel like over here, just using that terrain would be a good idea. And then I could make like a little retaining wall going all the way around and connecting up over here. And things like that. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, and I think it'll be interesting. I've got to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. Like, I think I've decided on building a smithy, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to build it yet or what materials. I'm actually really liking the style that I chose over here with the dead coral and the cobblestone and the variants of, well, other stones. And then over here, I mean, just the birch and the spruce and the mangrove stuff is a pretty cool combination and stuff like that. But I kind of want to break away just a little bit from the birch. So I don't know, maybe sandstone or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start getting this thing figured out. I've got to figure out the blocks. I've got to figure out how I'm going to terrain all of this. It's going to be a whole thing. Let's get going. All right, so I think I've got the color palette picked out now, and this is kind of what we're working with. What I'm thinking is the sand over here can be used to kind of brighten up the area a little bit. I mean, I'm using a bunch of birch around here to begin with, and I want to brighten it up a little bit, but keep a lot of the same stony, darker colors that we've got going around here, like that build, and with that build, and that retaining wall, and then, you know, everything going on over there. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And honestly, I keep forgetting that the acacia logs can be used to texture with these stony wood types. Wood types? Stony wood types? That's not right. Stony block types, I should say. And yeah, I think that'll be kind of cool to mix in there a little bit. So this is what we're working with. I need to terraform this area a little bit. I just want to kind of clean this area up, specifically right in here, and then add in a retaining wall going around and whatnot. So I think I've got my work cut out for me. I just need to go on ahead and get started on this terraforming. I will see you guys when I'm done with that. Ooh, okay, so change of plans. I think I want to use this area right over here instead. And well, just hear me out. Okay, so right here is going to be pretty much enough room for what I'm thinking. And well, the build itself is not going to be too terribly small, but this area right here is not really going to cut it. Even if I terraform it down a little bit, I just figure I might as well put it right here. And what I'm thinking is I can scoot the build over this way a little bit and then use a little side path over here, connecting up to the path back here. And, you know, well, for one, more pathways in the world, which is always nice. And for two, it fills out this area a little bit more, which this area desperately needs. That also gives me an excuse to set up an auto-crafting system for the iron farm over here. And what I could do is I could have this filter down and have it go and connect up into the build that's going to go right over here as well. I mean, I figure it makes sense because it's a smithy and, well, iron. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that makes sense. So I'm going to try to link those two up. Probably won't do that today. But I will at least get the build put in here and start planning that out at some point. But yeah, so I'm going to move this entire palette over here and I'm going to get started with this. I need to get the outline of the build put in and we'll probably clean up this area just a little bit as well. But yeah, I'm excited now. So let's get started. So I've done some block placing and some terraforming around here and I think I've got a layout that I'm enjoying. And well, I was going to face it going that direction, I guess, the front door facing that way, and I decided to rotate it this way. For one, it gives us a little bit more room to work with, and for two, whenever we're walking up from this direction, we'll have a direct sight line to it, and it'll kind of draw the eye just a little bit. There'll be a little path leading up this way as marked by the birch planks, and then there'll be a path following around this way, leading all the way over there, and this way it's not obstructing anything, and it also is kind of drawing the eyes at the same time. And I think that'll be a cool thing. So over here is going to be where the front door goes. Over here is going to be where the actual smithy or blacksmith area or whatever it is it's going to be called. That's going to be over there. And yeah, so that's going to be a challenge. I've got to figure out how I'm going to do this. And I need to go and get more resources because I know that I don't have a lot of coral left after that build. And I need to go get more stones and stuff. And I'm going to go on ahead and start getting the foundation put in and maybe the shell. And we'll see what happens. Alright, so a quick update. I've got the foundation of this place built, and I've textured this bottom layer of the wall down here with all the stone and the coral and everything. And I really like how that looks, and I really like the overall shape of the house. Not entirely sure how I feel about how tall this is so far, and the roof is only going to make it bigger, but we'll see what happens. This area here I feel like is a little too bulky. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to slim this area back just a little bit. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it just yet, but I'm going to do it. And yeah, I haven't added in any of the walls yet. I haven't added in any flooring yet, which I probably should do because I keep falling inside. But yeah, so this area over here is going to be where the actual blacksmith area is going to be. This area over here is going to be his house and everything. And yeah, so I've just got to figure out how I'm going to do all this and how I'm going to decorate it. I've got a couple of ideas in mind for this. So I just need to get to placing blocks and see what happens. So admittedly, I've been building and I forgot to hit the record button as I started building this thing. So you can see that I have gotten some progress done here. I've got this wall straightened out. It's not as bulky as it once was, and it's a little bit more detailed. And then right here, we've got a window put in. And I tried these bee nests or whatever these are right here in the walls with this color palette. I actually really like that. That's a cool touch that I've never used before. And that's pretty much it. I added in these 2 walls and then that wall back there, and that's literally it. I mean, that's yeah. Over here, I added in like a little porch that's gonna go on the outside. Right back here, along this area is gonna be like a stone wall, and this is gonna be where all of the well, the smithing stuff happens, I guess. And I placed that wrong. Whoops, let me fix that. Okay, much better. So yeah, there's going to be a wall back here, and it's going to contain pretty much everything that's going on. And yeah, I haven't done anything else. Nothing has been done to the back or to this other corner over here. It's all just one giant mess. But this is what I've done so far, and I at least wanted to update you guys on what I've done as of right now because, well, again, I forgot to hit the record button. So yeah, I'm going to hit the record button here in a second, and I'm going to proceed to get more of this done and then try to walk you through some of my process. By the way, what you're witnessing is in real time how my brain works through builds like this, especially trying to come up with builds just on the fly. So yeah, I'm just as scatterbrained as you might suspect. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get carried on with this. I will see you guys here in a bit. Alright, so a little bit more progress has been made, and I'm starting to get really happy with this build so far. So you can see that I've textured the wall around here a little bit using some of the stripped birch and the sandstone and everything. And all in all, I really like this. There's plenty of depth, there's plenty of shape happening here. And I tried something different up here with the roof, where I didn't use all upside down stairs going up. I used some slabs and whatnot. And yeah, so I need to go back up there and I need to, well, texture that roof, but we'll get there when we get there. I also got the roof put in over here above the smithy itself, and I went ahead and got lava put in, and there's campfires underneath it, so you get the smoky effect here. And that's it. I haven't textured or detailed around here at all and whatnot. And yeah, I also need to texture this wall too. That's kind of bland. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, as you can see, I've not done anything in here yet. I have not finished the back wall. I've not finished the side wall. Nothing. But I at least have the shape put in, which means I should be relatively close to getting this build finished. So I'm going to go on ahead and get these other walls put in, and then we'll try to get some detailing done. And then, yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Alright, so I am finally done with the exterior of this build, and I just want to start by saying that it took me 3 whole days to get this thing finished. Overthinking was a major problem in this, and it got me behind, so there is no interior for the sake of me getting this video out on time. So, with that being said, I do have this thing finished, and I am really happy with how this turned out. So as you can see, as we turn this little corner over here, you'll see this little wheat field over here. It just kind of breaks up a little bit of the stone and everything that's right here. And then not to mention, if I am all the way back over here and I'm looking out at it, it kind of breaks up the grayness between both of those builds together. So it's a good little separation technique that I found, and I really like that. Not to mention, it's just something interesting to add here, and it helps kind of wind the path on around like so, which I didn't really do much with the path. I want to change up some of the paths. I don't really want all of them to be just the normal path blocks. I want them to change a little bit, but I'll get to that eventually. As for the build itself, I'm pretty much done, and I am absolutely loving it. And, well, the sandstone and the birch, it's a nice touch. I can't get over that. I think it's a really nice detailing thing that I've found for this build. And then I used signs up there to make it look like the build is a little bit more run down, like it's been repaired, like it's been boarded up a little bit, I guess. And then spammed a bunch of the coral and andesite and cobblestone and stone and stuff down around the base, and then the variants of the deep slate and everything. One thing that I am particularly proud of is the fireplace up there, and I just, well, the chimney. That's the word I'm looking for. The chimney. I am particularly proud of that because, well, that's where I actually added in the acacia. I kind of forgot to use it down there, and I'm not going back and changing it now. That, and then I combined it with just a little bit of the gray concrete powder and the deep slate up there, just to make it have a smoother transition up there. And because of the lava pit being down here, where the blacksmith would be working, the smoke is rising up through there. And it is a little off center, but it is what it is. I think it looks better over here anyway. And yeah, so I've got these barrels and stuff all around the outside, and then I've got these smokers down around the bottoms. I forgot to add them around every corner, so I'll go back in and add that here in a little bit. But yeah, so I've got that. I've got these hay bales and everything. Just extra little bit of detail and color and depth for the area. Then up here is a little storage area, and then there's the little fire pit where the blacksmith would be doing his thing. And then over here is a little table, and there's not much happening over here, really. There's a cauldron, there's a anvil, and then some extra shelving and stuff up there. Nothing too crazy. And then over here, there's not much happening, just, you know, more of the same with all the hay bales and the barrels, and then the texturing around here. One thing that I really liked about this was doing these little archways up here at the top like this. It adds a little bit more shape up there, and honestly, I'm a big fan. And, well, this is also one of the first times that I have textured using spruce and the regular the oak logs. I've seen a few other YouTubers do that, like Infinite Drift and several other people. And for whatever reason, I've never done it, and I don't know why, because I really, really like it. And, yeah, I also added in these beehives. Yeah, these bee nests or beehives or whatever they are, all the way around, and then just, you know, built above it like this. This basically mirrors the front, except there's 2 windows up there. And then over here is a little plain, but again, you're not really going to see this side of the build too much, I don't think anyway. So I'm not too stressed about that, but it is at least detailed and textured and everything. And then up there in the chimney, I added in as much depth as I could with the stairs and everything like that. The stairs, the walls, and all of that. It really helped make it look not so square, I guess. And yeah, so that's also a neat little thing that I did up there. And I want to go in and add some buttons up there as well, just to give it just a little bit more of a pop. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, honestly, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then, as I said, in here, there is no interior. There's just nothing but a chest monster in here at the moment. I will probably try to get to the interior of this in the next episode because, well, I'm starting to run out of time because, well, you know, IRL things and a recording schedule and everything. So yeah, this is pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I am honestly really, really happy with this build. This is one of my favorites. I forgot to texture that. Whoops. Whatever. We're not going to talk about it. But yeah, this has got to be one of my favorite builds. I am really, really happy with how this turned out. And I think because of the sight lines from everywhere, it's going to be a really cool build to have because, like, from back here, it adds something of interest. From over here, it adds something of interest. And then from over here, it also adds something of interest. It gives you something just to look at. And I need to do something about that area up there, I think. I didn't do anything with that. I forgot about it, honestly. And then from back here, it also gives you a little sneak peek as to what to expect. So as you are, you know, running around here and, you know, you turn this corner, you get all of this. It's just, it's a way to direct your eyes. And I think that's a really, really neat idea. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And I think that's going to be where we wrap up today's episode. As always, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to show your support by liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget that there is a link to merch down in the description. I'm not really going to plug that very often. And I don't expect you guys to purchase merch, but as always, if you want to support the channel, any support is appreciated. Anyway, that's going to do it. My name is Lane. I will catch you guys in the next one.